I haven't changed a bit. If you seriously believe that, then I've got news for you, pal. Anyone who acts exactly the same as they did in the past is doing just that. Acting. Much like I do around you. Our friendship will never change? What a fucking joke! You picked the wrong girl to put your trust in, and they call you astute. Can you taste the fucking irony? Well, that just makes things easier for me. But my god, it's suffocating playing the good girl. That stupidly cheerful little ray of sunshine, Maria. Sickening. On the other hand, the payoff is fantastic. I can't stop. God, watching him lose his cool was incredible. My sides hurt just thinking about it. You're saying... You're telling me she wrote this? Who else could have written it? It's in her handwriting. Why? Why must she continue to betray me? Has she not taken enough already? What else could she possibly want from me? I told her to stay away from my gatherings. I had the Rose Guard torn down. And yet still she finds other men. I warned her, told her it wouldn't happen again, that if she betrayed me one more time I'd kill her. Jacopo? On my way, Maria. I have to talk to her, ask her what this letter's about, who this man is, and depending on how she answers, I may have to. Hold it, Jacopo, calm down. Silence. How am I supposed to stay calm right now? Listen to me, relax. You tried to talk to her right now and you aren't going to get anywhere. You're aware of just how frenzied you are, aren't you? Besides, you think she's going to tell you the truth even if you do manage to ask? Of course not. She may look all prim and proper, but that's not the real her. I don't think she's a bad person, but... Not a bad person. The woman who wrote this letter to another man? She crossed the line, you hear me? I agree with you there. She's gone too far with this letter. But remember, she is your wife and the daughter of a noble. You know exactly what will happen if you lose control of yourself and do something to her. It's not going to look good for you. She may be nobility, but I have the Casca. We have our own way of taking care of these kinds of problems. Still, it's plain as day and only make a bigger mess. No one else knows about this yet. Are you telling me to act like nothing's happening when she so blatantly disrespects me? Jacopo, could you let me take care of it? I'm friends with the madam. You know that. She'll listen to me, so I'll make sure it gets through to her. Just how much you care about her. I couldn't ask you. It would be disgraceful. That's nothing to be ashamed of. What did I tell you? I'm on your side and you're on mine. We're in this together. You can ask me things you couldn't ask others to do. I have tight lips. Anything you ask, I'll keep absolutely under wraps. Damn it! You're right. Yes, you're right. I'm well aware that I always lose myself in her presence. If I try talking to her now, I probably will do something rash, yes. I'll make sure everything works out, got it? You and the madam can go back to the way things used to be, so you don't have to suffer anymore. I'll take care of it. I'm the only one who understands your pain. And I'm the only one who can help you out of it. Maria. Oh, don't make that face, Jacopino. Thank you, Maria. Please, let her know that even if she is seeing other men, and even if she does silently mock me for not being of noble blood, that I still love her, that I don't want to raise my hand against her. You love her? That's a riot! You're too busy chasing your stacks of paper. You don't have what it takes to truly love a woman. I will say, though, I was surprised you lost your head that badly. Quite the little crush you've got on her. You could just sit down and talk to her like a rational human being, and presto, all your problems will be solved. But you can't even manage that, which is why you're in this predicament. Once you're convinced of something, Jacopo, you never let go of it. And she's too timid to speak up for herself. Sorry, madam. I got nothing against you. I just didn't expect things to go quite this well. There's no stopping now. Now when I've got this much momentum. Also, watching a pretty girl like you break down gives me goosebumps. You're still convinced I'm the only person you can trust. How did he react to the letter? Well, yeah, about that. Would he not take it? Oh no, he took it. Just, don't feel too bad about this, madam. He said he's too busy with work, and tossed the letter aside. I told him to make sure he writes you a reply, but he hasn't gotten around to it at all. I see. That's a shame. It kills me to see you like this, madam. I don't get why he has to be so heartless. Not even taking a little bit of time out of his day to read the letter you poured your soul into writing. It's unacceptable. I'm sure. He really is busy. He did not throw it away, though, did he? I imagine he means to read it when he has more time. Madam, after everything he's done to you, you still think he means well? I have faith. My timing was poor, that's all. I believe in him. I believe that the day will come when he gives me his attention again, as he did before. Madam. So, could I ask you to believe with me, Maria? To have faith that he will once more show me his love, and that mine will reach him. Something tells me that it will all work out if you pray for it. Yeah, okay. If you're fine with me praying, I'll pray. I'll get down on my knees for you, madam. I'll have faith. Thank you. I would like to write another letter. When it is complete, can I ask you to deliver it to him? I'll give him as many as you want. As many as it takes for you to get through to him. You really ought to learn not to be so trusting, madam. Take a real close look, and you'll see exactly who it was that ground your happy little life into dust. Thank you, Maria. Ha! I'm the reincarnation of the Mother of God? Oh god, I can't hold back the laughter. This is a stage of my own creation. We didn't have enough actors, so the playwright had to take on a role herself. That only adds to the excitement. Yes, this is all my masterpiece. You're just ignorant puppets dancing to my tune. From the first shot to the last, blind to whose finger is sitting on the trigger. Listen to me, Jacopo, and try to keep your head. I saw the madam meeting with another man behind your back. You know the arch in the rose garden? The far side's out of sight from the mansion, making it a perfect place to hide. I saw her back there. From the looks of it, the madam is having her meetings with one of the men who comes to your business gatherings. And they don't act like they're just friends. But just to be clear, I don't have any solid proof. So it'd be best if you didn't mention this to her yet. You wouldn't want to start throwing around accusations only to find out too late it was all a big misunderstanding. I'll get to the bottom of it, so you... I think the madam might have her eyes on several men. Being a woman, you know, I can tell these things. She's giving me suggestive looks. But to whom I can't pinpoint. A lot of people come in and out of this house, after all. What? You want me to keep her from leaving her room? That might be for the best. With so much going so well, it makes me think even God's on my side. They could just talk it over with one another. But they won't, and they're in deeper and deeper shit for it. You're the only one I can trust, Maria. And the timing that night, my god, it was perfect. Hey, Jacopo? I could just be misreading her, but something seems off about the madam. Like she's been on the edge or something. I tried to egg her into revealing what's going on, and she let slip that she might be going out somewhere tonight. She's not going with you, is she? You were going out to survey a construction site today, right? Then I'd suggest you get that taken care of quickly. A dance. At this time of night. Yep, and since it's so late, no loud music. All you get is a little whistling courtesy of me. But this room is too small for her. We'll use the Great Hall. Wouldn't that put us in everyone else's way? He would probably complain about the noise, too. No need to worry. Jacopo's out inspecting some factory or something today. After that, he's got a meeting, so he'll be staying the night elsewhere. I thought you would not be back until tomorrow. And how would you know that? No, forget that. Does my staying the night elsewhere have any effect on you? You were just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? No. What would I possibly want you out of the house for? I'm sure you know better than anyone. What is that smell? Perfume? When did you get perfume? And I have to say, you seem to be having quite the time. Look at you. You're out of breath, red as a beet. I made the right decision coming back. Where the hell were you going? I'm sorry, this is all my fault. If I hadn't asked you to dance, and me bringing the perfume only made things worse. No, you need not feel bad about anything, Maria. Everything you did was with my best interests at heart. She doesn't even suspect me in the slightest. And I was able to put that perfume to great use. That money-sucking leech Tommaso showed up at the perfect time, too. I'm pretty sure that's when Jacopo started getting actively violent. A jealous man is a wonderful thing, always imagining the worst and making matters worse for it. Wow, is that you, Tommaso? It's been so long. What brings you here? Looking at who it is, little Miss Campanella. There's a surprise. Didn't expect to see you this side of the Great Blue. Oh, you know, I've been giving Jacopo a hand. Well, color me impressed. After what happened, I would have thought you wouldn't want anything to do with him. That was between our parents. Jacopo didn't have anything to do with it. Well, it would sure be nice for all you younger generation to go through life with nothing to spark that kind of powder keg. Not that it's my place to talk. No need to worry yourself about any of that. So what brings you here, Tommaso? I'm a little, you know how it is. Having a bit of trouble staying afloat. I see. So you're here to beg for offerings? Pretty shameless, Tommaso. No point in having shame if it ain't making money. Toss that out with a chamber pot. Hell, might make things easier if I just quit being human altogether. Are you that hard for cash? Unfortunately, numbers were supposed to go up, but for some reason they end up going down instead. Might be best if you kick the gambling habit. Now, that's like telling me to go off myself. I bet. So, say, Tommaso, maybe I could pitch in a bit too. You mean it? That'd be a huge help. There's seriously not a scrap of shame in you. However, in exchange, I'd like you to do something for me. Someone whose face needs a visit from my fists? Depending on the number, I could also possibly cut him into chunks and toss him into the ocean. Whoa, keep it clean. I'm not asking you to do anything like that. What is it then? Something a lowlife like me can do? It'll be easy. And it's nothing bad either. You're going to go talk to Jacopo, aren't you? Well, there's something I'd like you to tell him while you're at it. You know he's married, right? He can get pretty nasty with his wife, though. That's so? Sounds like she's got it rough. She does, and she's religiously devoted to him, too. I've been trying to nudge things in the right direction to get her back on good terms with him, but I haven't had much luck. And that's something the two of them should work through? Normally, yes, but it's reached the point where I can't bear to sit back and watch you anymore. I don't like seeing the two of them in pain. I want to do something for them. How noble. You're pretty devoted yourself, little lady. I'm not important right now. Just doing the right thing. But the thing is, Jacopo won't hear a word of it. I figure maybe you, being a man, might be able to get through to him a little better than me. Doubt he'll listen to me either, to be honest. Come on, you used to be really close, though. And I doubt he hates you. Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Anywho, talking's something anyone can do. So you want me to tell him? I need you to give him a bit of a scolding. Tell him the madam came to you asking for advice and that she accidentally let slip the way he treats her day-to-day causes her grief. Never met this wife of his before, you know? It works even better that way. She's so downtrodden she can't talk to anyone about it, and she thought that maybe you, being family, might be able to help. She's never met you, but she's still latched onto a ray of hope. And I'm sure when Jacopo finds out she brought her up with family, he'll know he can't keep mistreating her. Things like this, they hit home harder when they come from someone on the outside. You make a decent point. Just remember, little lady, all I can do is bring it up with him. Can't guarantee it'll change nothing. That's all I need you to do. Thanks a bunch, Tommaso. Oh, right, one more thing. This is some perfume that's grown quite popular recently. Ask him to give it to the madam as a gift. If you won't take it, you keep it. Give it to another woman, sell it, whatever you want. Review, man. Very thoughtful of you. Women do like getting gifts like that. Yes, we do. If Big Bad Jacopo gives her some of that, they'll be lovebirds again before you know it. I'm sure of it. Never thought the day would come when I got to play Cupid. Now I'm starting to get kind of excited about this. Stay focused, Tommaso, and thanks. Also, you didn't hear any of this from me. I'm fine just pulling the strings from the shadows. Their relationship's in complete shambles, and Jacopo still insists he fucking loves her. And the madam says she still believes in him. Seriously? How stupid can you be? Poor Jacopo. Poor madam. Now then, let's see where this boulder rolls to next. And how far it keeps rolling. Naturally, I will be nudging it along its way. Because after all, a play lives or dies by the director's hands. Master, are you shocked? Or do you instead lament this development? I was deeply sorrowful, though to a lesser degree about Maria's true intentions and more my shameful inability to recognize her machinations. At the time, I too believed that Maria was the White-Haired Girl's one and only ally. It was not until everything had drawn to a close that I discovered the truth. Then I now know how this tale ends, you say. Yes, that is correct. Well aware that it was not the case, I told you the story in a way that suggested she was on the White-Haired Girl's side. Oh my, I wonder if that constitutes lying to you, Master? I merely wanted to present the events to you in order, starting from the beginning when Maria's ill intentions were still veiled in shadow. I wanted you to know the same feeling of consternation I had experienced. The White-Haired Girl continued to write letter after letter. They were all addressed to her dear husband, detailing her ever-persistent love for him, and her desire for their relationship to return to what it once had been. My beloved, I am sure your hands are quite full right now, but that is fine. It does not change my love for you. Do you remember the day we went out together? That was perhaps the most wonderful day of my life. I had a truly incredible time. I still treasure the gift you gave me, for it is the one and only present I have received from you. That reminds me, Maria tried to teach me how to dance. I doubt I'll ever progress beyond being laughably bad, though. It would be nice if someday you and I could dance together. Perhaps when you have a little respite from work, we could go out again, maybe take a carriage somewhere a little farther away. And we could dine at a restaurant more to your liking. Although I think the cuisine at the other restaurant was exquisite, personally. Do I, perhaps, have an unrefined palate? Maria altered the letters before delivering them, however. She changed the addressee from Jacopo to another man. She would cut away the top of the page with Jacopo's name on it, and the space below write a different name. She could not have mimicked the White-Haired Girl's handwriting for the full length of the letter, but Maria could make a single name look adequately similar. And it would, after all, be quite difficult to notice minor discrepancies in such a small quantity of text. Again, another letter! Why does she keep writing these? To Jacopo's eyes, the modified letters looked like the professions of love for another man. The more she inscribed her feelings for Jacopo, the greater the turmoil grew within his heart. Even though her love was directed toward him, I can't believe what I'm reading. A restaurant more to your liking? I knew it. You have been going out with other men, all the while pretending to be chaste in my presence. I still treasure the gift you gave me. God's sake. You have to be fucking kidding. But I've ensured she can't leave that room. She'll never see this man again. In time she'll let go, and so will he. Listen to me. Resigning myself to the hope that everything will fix itself. How did I end up like this? Such a pitiful man I've become. On the surface, Maria acted quite heartbroken at the sight of their suffering. But when she returned to her room, the walls echoed with her cackles. She derived a great deal of entertainment from their squirming. The more they writhed in anguish, the deeper her satisfaction grew. And both the white-haired girl and Jacopo continued to place their confidence in Maria, the one responsible for everything. The white-haired girl had never possessed a sense of distrust, and so she took everything Maria said as truth, continuing in her agony to write Jacopo letters. Letter after letter after letter. My beloved, are you still tied up with your work? It has been some time since we last saw one another, so I know not what you have been doing as of late. I only hope you remain in good health. I would, if possible, prefer to tell you everything in person, but I do not have the courage, so these letters are my only option. Am I adequately expressing my feelings, my love for you? If you have the time, I would appreciate a response. You're never going to get a response, though. Not as long as I'm intercepting them. There's no way I'm allowing these, or your love to get to him. I could just stop reading them. It would certainly make things easier. But if I don't, my imagination will run wild, fantasizing about her writing to this other man, and what she might be putting in her correspondence. I'd be better off knowing the truth than torturing myself with fantasy. It's the better option. Jacopo accepted every letter Maria delivered without fail. He would merely nod as he accepted it, his face contorted in discomfort, and then pore over the text when he was alone. I assumed he did not want to see her. He did not want her to see his heart sinking into darkness. Had he put his trust in his wife rather than Maria, he would have almost certainly been able to realize the letters were directed at him, despite the altered recipient name. Everything she wrote about concerned him, after all. How could someone who lived as isolated a life as her have so many identical experiences with two distinct men? Why could he not find it in himself to trust her? Perhaps stunning her was simply easier. If you were in his position, would you trust her? Would you maintain faith in her, the woman who had waited so long? Would you believe the feelings she professed for you were genuine? She continued writing letters day after day, week after week, without hiatus. She had by and large run out of things to say, but that did not put an end to her letter writing. She simply repeated what she had written before. Nevertheless, they did not see one another in person. The white-haired girl, forbidden from leaving her shed, could only wait for her husband to pay her a visit. My beloved, there is a little bit of fog out today. Weather like this reminds me of my home country. I was born on an island perpetually covered in a thick fog. I'm not saying I would like to return, but thinking about it does make me feel rather homesick. Does that happen to you? That reminds me, aside from that one time you have not told me much of your homeland. It would be nice if we could pay it a visit together sometime. Speaking of which, before I left, an exhibition of some sort was held there. I was unable to attend, but perhaps you had the chance when it was near you. I imagine you would have with your interest in new technology. Next time you have a chance, I would enjoy hearing what they had on display. An exhibition? That's right, there was one. It was a year ago. Got quite a bit of attention since it was supposed to have been held in Paris. I was busy preparing for our wedding. I had no time to attend an exhibition. And while I was doing that, giving you, a woman I'd never met before, my full attention, you were giving yours to a different man? Has this been going on for that long? Had he simply stepped up and taken action, he could have put an end to the stream of letters, each of which gave rise to further misunderstanding. He needed merely ask the white-haired girl in person to whom the letters were addressed, whether what they described were true, and the twisted threads of his confusion would have been all but unraveled. But he made no such effort, relying instead on Maria to serve as his intermediary. I feel as though I have now, at long last, come to understand just what kind of man Jacopo was. While he had a great deal of pride in his capabilities, he had far less confidence in himself as a person. If he'd had faith in himself, perhaps he could have put faith in his wife as well. Had his pride not been so twisted, perhaps he would not have been so afraid of being hurt. Indeed, he was afraid. Afraid of being rejected by her. Afraid to face a reality where his beloved partner scorned him. Where the woman he loved laughed at him disdainfully. Where she and countless others mocked him. The thought of it paralyzed him. The environment in which he had been raised played a significant part in his state of mind, I expect. Occasionally the name of the letter would change. Maria was making the white-haired girl out to be having affairs with multiple other men. She could never do any such thing, of course. But Jacopo, thinking Maria to be his only ally, believed everything she said. If I could figure out who this man is and where he resides, I could make him tell me every last detail about his relations with my wife. But what if that information went public as a result? If news of her infidelity spread and were to reach the Casca? The fate of the Berzattis is in your hands, son. There is a limit to what we can accomplish on this tiny island. If we don't turn our attention outwards, we will wither away and die. And not just this family. This whole land will find itself famished and emaciated, defenseless against invasion as we waste away. I will not stand by and watch my homeland crumble. Sure, our methods may be crude and not always worthy of praise, but they produce undeniable results. The unfortunate thing is, the previous Capo Famiglia was an incredibly reticent man. It took all he had to merely preserve his small chunk of the world. But I'm not like that, and neither are you. The most I can do is lay the foundation to make it easier for you to work, which means everything rests on your shoulders. Both the future of the Berzatti family and the future of this country. It all falls on you. The marriage is happening too quickly. It would be madness not to hurry given the circumstances. You should be well aware of that. We need the Berzatti name climbing the social ladder in short order, or we're going to have everything ripped out from under us. If the woman isn't to your liking, you can find another one that is. She's only going to be your wife in name. But listen to me, son. You must not allow her to fool around. What are the most vital things to have in our society? Money? Power? Yes, those are important. But what matters most is respect. No one's going to follow a Capo Famiglia they can't respect. They'll try to undermine your authority. Once someone deems you weaker than them, courtesy goes out the window, and that's a judgment that's impossible to overturn. Betrayal spreads like a fire through a forest. And once that flame is lit, the both of us come crashing down. You must not let anyone look down on you. You must not let anyone think you're the kind of man a woman can walk all over. If, by any chance, your fiancée is ever unfaithful to you, kill her before anyone finds out. Your place is above others. Climb to the top. Never be content with someone above you. And never forget the weight you carry on your shoulders. This is your responsibility. The fate of the Berzatti is in your hand. The fate of the land rests upon your shoulders. Kill anyone who stands in your way. Aim for the top. Obtain true wealth. Poverty is the root of all evil. Respect. I must keep intercepting her letters. I must keep her locked up. I still have work to do. I cannot allow anyone to learn how she's disgraced me. Kill her. That's how my old man says to handle it. That's the last resort. It's not. Not yet. God damn it! It's downright wrong for me to even be having these feelings for someone. Fuck! Master, your carriage is waiting outside. How are you coming along? Coming along? Oh, that's right. I had an inspection scheduled today. I'll be right out. Have him wait. Is something the matter, Master? You look a little hazy. I'm fine. If you're not feeling well, you should stay. I said I'm fine! It's not your job to try and infer my condition. Yes, sir? Damn it. Keep it under wraps. Act like normal. You can at least do that much, damn you! Take care on your trip, Master. Yeah. It's not the usual coachman. I also feel like I've seen him somewhere. Your fault. What? That we... Hey, speak up! Die, Jacopo Bezzati! Master? There's a knife! In your stomach! Oh god, someone! Anyone! Silence. Don't make a scene. Call a doctor. Yes, sir. Now I remember where I've seen him before. That's right. I put his factory out of business. I needed it out of the picture to expand my own business. I guess he held a grudge about that. I should have been more careful. Blood flows with surprising abundance from a stab wound. It's not stopping either. Son of a bitch. The world is going white. Come on now. You have to be kidding. I know very well what kind of man you are. You wouldn't hesitate to lead a blind man off a cliff if it furthered your own goals. You make money off others' lives. You stand upon a mountain of corpses, cackling at everyone below you. For a man like you, love comes as naturally as flying. Guess what? You don't have any emotions, and you never have. You've always been this way. My childhood was day after day of mockery. You're just a bunch of nobodies trying to pretend your name means anything. They would say, sneering and glaring. Maria treated me as an equal, but she was the only one. I wanted to show them up, and to do that, I had to rise to the top, or at least high enough that I could laugh at them. My old man wasn't the only one who wanted that. I did too. I had to make them acknowledge that I had value as a man. Who actually wants to go through life being laughed at? I had to make them recognize that what I did had value, and I needed neither love nor compassion to do it. Or that's what I thought. In the beginning, I only ever intended to use that woman. I simply needed her to build a name for myself. When she served her purpose, I could simply cast her aside. That's what I thought. Or rather, that's what I endeavored to make myself think. But deep down I felt bad for her. I pitied this woman who was being made to marry a man she had never even met before. I'm sure what she really wanted was to have a regular marriage with someone she loved. But because her family wanted to cling to their name, she wasn't afforded that opportunity. I wanted to do something for her. It didn't have to be anything grand. I genuinely wanted that. The day of our wedding was when I first saw her. Her face, partially obscured behind the veil, was gorgeous. And crucially, she was smiling at me. I had expected to find only gloom and despondency in her eyes, but instead she smiled. The moment I saw that smile, I wanted to be a permanent part of my life. I truly did want to ensure she always had a smile on her face. Is this my room? I'm alive? Damn it. I feel nauseous. What time is it? World's a blur. So hot. You mustn't get up. The doctor said bacteria entered your body through the wound. Because of that, you have a very high fever. What are you doing here? I was told you had been badly wounded, but thankfully it was not fatal. How did you make it out of? Pardon? I see. Maria opened it. Would you like some medicine to reduce the fever? It should help you feel better. Yes. No. Stay by my side for a little longer. Is there anything I can do for you? You can ask me anything. My hand. Your hand. Could you hold my hand? If you don't want to, that's fine. Like this. Your hand is quite cold. It probably feels that way because of your fever. So, yes? I've done some regrettable things to you. Please forgive me. To tell you the truth, from the moment I first saw you, I felt like you were what I had been searching for my whole life. Laugh if you'd like. I felt like I had finally found you. But I couldn't act around you the way I honestly felt. You should get some sleep. Could you keep holding my hand until I fall asleep? If you don't want to, that's fine. My hand is in yours. Thank you. You appear to be quite delirious, Master. Those are things you should be telling your wife, not me. It was all a dream. Of course it was. It wouldn't be that easy. And she would never come to my room. She's involved with other men. Jacopo, may I come in? I have another letter. The white-haired girl's persistent letters did not improve anything, but simply stoked the flames of misunderstanding. This continued for several months. Though outside the sun shone with the gentle warmth of spring, the cold, bitter winds of winter still relentlessly blew between Jacopo and his wife. Not allowed to leave her shed and never receiving a reply to her letters, the white-haired girl's only source of information was Maria. Week after week, her circumstances remained the same, but something else was beginning to show signs of change. Her mental state. It's pointless, madam. You're only wasting your time at this point. I saw him throw your letter into the fireplace. He's not going to read anything you write, no matter how much of your soul you pour into it. He cares more about money and work than love. That's the kind of man he is. Just give up and file for divorce already. No. I will get through to him. Everything will go back to normal. I have faith. All my letters may go up in flames, but my faith will not be lost with them. As long as I keep writing, eventually I will get through to him. So I cannot stop. I cannot. Do you have any idea what he says about you, madam? Jacopo doesn't trust you in the slightest. He goes around calling you a witch, a man-eating devil woman. It's awful. There's no one as pure and as beautiful as you. He says I am a witch. Listen to me, madam. He never for a second actually loved you. He just wanted the influence attached to your name. Wanted to mingle with the upper class. He used you. But last year, when we went out together, he gave me the Phoenicus will at the photography shop. He had the owner make it especially for me. He was just trying to win your favor. If he really cared for you, he wouldn't have gotten you a paper toy. He would have gotten you something like a ring or a necklace or some perfume, a nice dress. Something women really like. Has he ever given you anything like doesn't have any feelings for me. I'm sorry, I just couldn't stand to see you going through this. But I don't know when to shut my fat trap. I went too far. The last thing I need to be doing is hurting you worse. You know, for everything I've said, your unwavering dedication is really impressive, madam. I know I've suggested you get a divorce, but to be honest, part of me doesn't actually want you to split up. Despite knowing you staying with him is just causing you pain. You've made it this far. I'd like to see you make it all the way. Maybe he actually will start paying attention. Your sweetness can melt even his heart of steel. Yes, you're right. I will keep waiting. Keep writing. And I will not divorce him. Yeah, alright. So please, keep delivering my letters to him. You are my only remaining connection to the outside world. Oh yes, one more thing. If it is not too much trouble, could you tell me how he has been and what he's been up doing lately? I do not have much else to write about. So if I could at least relieve him of some of his work-related stress. I am his wife, after all. I should be able to do that much for him. I am his wife. Her dedication to him was perhaps closer to an obsession, but she did not seem to be conscientious of the fact that her obsession was killing her. She was visibly losing weight, and her spirit was breaking down. It is said that emotions fade with time, but the opposite can also be true. The act of waiting, of fervently believing for so many months, despite the object of one's affections not returning them, can tear apart a person's heart, crush their soul, shatter their spirit. No matter how radiant, how thick-skinned they may be, with enough time it will wear anyone down. No one is immune. It's pointless, Jacopo. Wait all you want, you won't get her back. If she's going to be writing letters, she could at least write one for you. She looks so pure, pretty as an angel. But God Almighty, is it only how she looks? You've changed a bit. What have I? The old you would be yelling and screaming, chomping at the bit to go storming in on the madam. Now you just go quiet. I'm just a little tired. You could break it off then. What? You've already made a name for yourself in high society. Nobody's going to suddenly start ignoring you. You've more than put her family name to good use. To put it in your own words, it's no longer necessary. This isn't something I really want to say, but the madam has never liked you. She was married off to a total stranger and forced to leave her home. I'm sure she felt very alone, and so she sought the companionship of other men. Anyone who wasn't you probably seemed quite attractive to her. So without getting violent or threatening to kill her or anything, just end it already, quietly and without a fuss. It'll be easier for you that way. I cannot. Because you still love her? That's wonderful, Jacopo. After everything, you still love her. That's just blind, slavish devotion at this point. Perhaps it is foolish. Perhaps it is a foolish, unhealthy obsession. But I still do not wish to sever ties with her. I cannot get the image of her smile out of my head. The look of utter elation on her face as she looked through the phenakistoscope. Those captivating eyes beneath the veil at our wedding. I will never, for as long as I live, forget those sights. Color me surprised. You're a sentimental one. Well, I guess you always have been kind of mushy, haven't you? True to your heart despite how you may look. It's not a bad thing, though, in my book. There's nothing but pain in it for you now, but all you can do is wait until she stops writing. But don't worry, if you need to let off some steam, I'm all ears. I'll be here for you until she breaks it off with the other men. No, that will not be necessary. What? I know very well that things cannot continue on as they are forever. I knew it from the beginning and still couldn't do anything. This time I'm planning on facing her myself. You serious, Jacopo? Yes. I've relied on you for too long. I was afraid of what I might do to her. I didn't want anyone to find that out, that my wife was being unfaithful. And I thought the best way to ensure that was by locking her up away from anyone else. But the situation is not going to improve unless I do something. If I allow things to continue as they are, sooner or later word of her infidelity will leak. So before that happens, I must face her myself. I must do something. It's probably best if you didn't. I'll tell her anything you want, make sure things start improving. I appreciate everything you've done, and I apologize for getting you involved in our troubles. But I'm going to end it now. No, I must put an end to it. This is a problem between me and her. You might get violent again if you see her face to face. Yes, I might. I might do something that would look rather bad for me. But it's reached a point where until the two of us face up to each other, it's never going to go away. It took me far too long. I wasted too much time trying to find my resolve. I see. You'll need a way to break the ice, then. Break the ice? Right. If you've got some convenient excuse to talk to her, it'll reduce some tension and make it easier to bring up what you need to bring up, right? Here's an idea. That transcontinental railroad you've been funding. That's supposed to be opening up pretty soon, isn't it? Yes, it is. There'll be a message by telegraph when it happens, right? You can ask her to be there to hear it. And then you can invite her to ride the first train. You've put your heart and soul into this project and it's finally being realized. It's going to be an amazing day for you, and a day like that's ripe for more good things to happen. It's going to be the accomplishment of a lifetime. Don't look so down in the dumps. You're sending trains across this massive continent, carrying on them the people of this country's dreams. Who says you can't stick a dream of your own on it, too? Right. Yes, you have a point. A railroad that spans from coast to coast. She's a sickly girl, which makes long trips difficult. But this new rail system should make them much less straining. It would allow me to show her the world. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm getting excited myself. It'll go great, I'm sure of it. Yeah. Oh god, my fucking sides. Seriously, they're a goddamn riot. Both of them. They keep on trusting me and keep getting hurt. They don't have to be going through any of this. My god, Maria, you're terrible. And these people call me the Holy Mother. I bet the real Mary's rolling in her fucking grave. Now, I must say I wasn't expecting you to make a move, Jacopo. A shame that. The squirming loser, paralyzed by insecurity, is a better role for you. If they do end up figuring it out, tough shit. Doesn't hurt anything, just takes away a bit of my fun. I don't understand why he's so infatuated with this railroad. I mean, I do sort of get romanticizing steel, but my kind of steel is a little smaller scale. Anyway, I suppose it's about time to get things moving. No matter how this plays out, you will not have a happy ending, Jacopo. You're going to get a real taste of just how much I despise you. Maria, there you are. What is it? I'm on break right now. You were assigned to clean the cellar today, weren't you? Had maid saying it hasn't been done yet. What? I did, I cleaned it. Just a casual once-over, but hey. Well, do it again, and do it right this time. Because if you don't, it's gonna fall on me. And that's supposed to make me give a damn? I mean it, you take care of it. You get enough special treatment as it is. Yeah, right, yeah. Heard you the first time, I'll take care of it. And don't you forget it. For God's sake. Why should I have to be the one to tell her? Is she gone? What a pain. Who cares if the damn cellar is clean? Not like anyone's bringing guests down there, yeesh. Guess I should take care of it. Better that than a tongue lashing by the head maid. God, why did it have to be a maid anyway? What a dank place. It's so dark and humid down here. Makes me feel gross. Someone there? Hello? Hello? Is anyone in there? Came from farther in. Whoa. It's seriously dusty back here. Who was supposed to clean this last week? I'll clean the whole thing next time, damn it. Just makes my job harder. Disgusting. Damn cobwebs. Oh god, oh dear god. I do not want to clean this. Ow. Oh, for God's sake, stack this stuff properly. Now I gotta fix this whole mess. For the love of... What's this? Something carved into the floor? Never noticed this before. Someone get bored one day? What do we have here? It's supposedly illegible. Let's see. It's not written in English, but my native language. But it's not modern. It's really archaic. Why on earth would an old form of my country's language be carved into the floor of a mansion built here in the New World? Most of it's illegible, but I can make out one section. Our lives shall be forfeit to the witch's curse. Nevertheless, we must lay bare those with sin upon their souls, for the redemption of those whom are pure. Should ye not mean to dispel your curse, we implore of you, O witch, to mark with it only their bloodlines. The blood of the sinners flows through those who dwelt within this house, but not I. So real quick, that message has grave importance when you get to the second game, Requiem for Innocence. Since I've been warning you about spoilers along the way, you have count to 3 and then unmute the video, because I am going to tell you who the writer right now. That was Maria. So yes, she wrote it herself way back at the end of Requiem for Innocence. She was locked in the cellar when everyone else died around her, and that's basically what she wrote. You weren't told what it was in Requiem. You have to come here and look at it. So, just a word of warning. That's crazy. But why does the handwriting look like mine? It's just coincidentally similar. No one's handwriting is perfectly unique, after all. Why am I so sweaty? It's not that hot down here. Nope, forget it. Didn't see a thing. Not a chance it's real, just a tasteless prank. This is silly. There's something in this box. Is that a painting? Has that always been here? Huh? White hair, fair skin? Is this the madam? But then, why is the face all torn up? And her clothes look really old-fashioned. The painting seems worn and faded too. Something about it feels off. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's very creepy, unsettling. The writing on the floor in this painting. What is with this house? So, mute it again, because I'll tell you about the painting. 3, 2, 1. The painting is of Michelle in her female form. So, you'll find out about this later on in the game. I don't remember if they actually show you the painting itself, untorn up, but it does get mangled in chapter 6? 5 or 6, I think. It's just a painting. Nothing to get weirded out over. I bet I know what happened. Jacopo probably slashed it up in a fit of jealousy. He is a simple man. Seeing this probably wouldn't put him in the best mood. What was that? Is someone there? The door is open? Nobody's there. What's this? A painting. Who could have left it here? Is that me? Why, but my face, it's been cut. No. Why would someone have this painted? Just to do this? Who would? Who would do such a thing? You're like a witch, my dear. Like a demon. Your very presence brings misfortune upon others. You're cursed. No, I am not. I, I, I am not. Was it you, Jacopo? Did you have this painted so you could destroy it? Do you really despise me to that extent? Why? Why do you? What? What did I ever do to make you hate me so? Why? Why? I... All I am doing is waiting for you. You worthless tramp. Are those ears only for show? This house has no need of a garden. I always thought you had at least some sense of taste. Silence, it's all your fault, every last thing. Then say goodbye to your freedom. I'll kill you. Does the mere act of waiting impose upon you? Does my mere presence pervert you? Would it be better if I were gone? Would it be better if I left this mansion? If I left you? I don't think I can wait much longer. There's no end in sight. I can't take it any. There is no end. No. I will set a deadline for when I give up waiting. When the project you pour your heart and soul into is complete. When the railroad opens, I will be finished waiting. And then it's over. The Pacific Railroad's last spike ceremony was drawing near by the day. That day was coincidentally the deadline the two of them had set for themselves, Jacopo to confront his wife, and the white-haired girl to wait for him. And as that day approached, she continued to write letters. She wrote the letters purely by force of habit, despite having been worn visibly thin. I expect that she could not stop, that the act of writing was all that kept her from going mad. By focusing her attention on another person through her letters, she was able to maintain her grip on herself. But that day would be an end to her suffering and despair. When the railroad was completed, all their misunderstandings would be cleared up. They would return to the smiling, happy couple they had been when they were first married. The harsh winter would finally come to a close, melting away into the past and allowing them to step into the future. With constant prayer in my heart, I impatiently awaited the railroad's opening ceremony. I do not, after all, wish for anyone to fall into any kind of misfortune. And that goes for you as well, Master. Now, Master, the door is soon to be shut upon this era. Are you prepared to see what happens next? I see. Very well. Then allow us to make our way to that final day. See with your own eyes, Master, how this tale concludes. And please, do not let go of my hand. The night before the opening ceremony, the master of the house headed for his wife's shed. There was a tension on his face, but a surety in his step. He had found the resolve to speak with her. Having locked her away for so long in the shed like a common prisoner, Jacopo was hardly optimistic about what she might say to him. He had undeniably mistreated her, said heartless and cruel things to her, and even gotten physically violent with her. His actions were inexcusable, even if they were in response to her infidelity. Of course, the very infidelity which had driven him to such behavior had not, in fact, taken place, but he was unaware of that. There was a chance they would never reconcile their misunderstandings, and that this predicament would not have a positive resolution, but he still clung to a tiny fragment of hope. He wanted to start over with the white-haired girl, to make a new future with her. With that desire burning strong in his heart, he stood before the door to her shed and called out to her. Are you awake? It's me, Jacopo. May I come in? I won't hurt you. I will not raise my hand against you again. I swear to you, I will do you no harm. I just wish to speak. I would like to have a calm, rational conversation. And as such, I will not enter your room until you have given me your permission. So may I please come in? You won't even give me a response. Alright. Considering how you must feel about me, I shouldn't be surprised. Fine, then you don't have to let me in. But please, at least hear me out. Do you remember the day shortly after we first met, when we went on our honeymoon? If you can even call the little walk we took a honeymoon. I was unable to do anything nice for you then either. I had no experience, no idea how to interact with an upper-class woman like yourself. I didn't know what I should do for you. And yes, I know that makes me sound juvenile. I have a tendency to say things I don't mean the more perturbed I get. I'm sure I said things to hurt you numerous times that day. However, at the photography shop, when you saw the phenakistoscope, you smiled for me. I was genuinely pleased in that moment. I felt like I had gotten closer to you. I very much doubt this was actually an appropriate present for a nobleman like yourself. Jewels or flowers or something like that, something beautiful, would have certainly suited you better. And I knew that, but I assumed you would have been given gifts like that countless times in the past. You are, after all, a beautiful woman. I did not want to have to compete on the same field as those other men. I wanted to be special. No, I wanted to be unique to you. No one had ever shown you anything of the sort before, had they? Frankly, I wasn't sure if a woman of your status would take any interest in a phenakistoscope at all. I imagine you've thrown it out by now, but I choose to believe you sincerely liked it on that day. That, if just for a moment, I caught your eye. Even if you started seeing other men afterwards, that moment was real, wasn't it? Our marriage was, at its core, nothing but an arrangement between our parents, in exchange of money and influence. That was how it began, but that day I loved you. I yearned to see you smile, as if I had loved you my entire life. The Pacific Railroad has finally been completed. That's the project I've been funding. Everyone thought it was crazy, but a railroad now stretches across the breadth of this country. A joining ceremony will be held tomorrow. It's going to be a grand event. Locally, they plan on doing a gun salute, and the sound of the last spike being driven into the ground will be transmitted across the country via telegraph. I've procured a telegraph, so we can listen to it here in the mansion. In your condition, you would probably have trouble handling the crowds at the telegraph station. But here, you could celebrate in the comfort of your own home. I suppose what I'm saying is, I want to celebrate this with you. I have made arrangements to make that possible for you, because I wish to have you there with me. Would you be willing, tomorrow, to celebrate the completion of the Pacific Railroad with me? Would you be there at my side? Please, say something. I want to start over. I know very well what I've done to you. You may be at fault yourself, but what I did is unacceptable. But what I did was a consequence of my overpowering love for you. I swear it. Why? Why will you not answer me? Say something. Anything. Please. Please. You can hear me in there, can't you? If you don't want to, you can just say no. If you do reject me, I'll set you free. I won't hurt you, I promise. The door is not locked? Who opened it? Hello?